Yep, it's been a while since I've done a video. Hey everyone, Too Tall here from Too Tall's Model Car Garage. I know I've been kind of off the grid, I guess, if you say. I haven't done a video like this in a while. So, I'm still around. Let's just see. I've got a lot in my stash I'd like to show you guys, and I'm going to show you what I've been working on on the bench. So let's get to it. Alrighty, let's do a quick stash update. I've stocked up pretty much for everything that I've built this year. But I'll show you guys some more stuff. This one is the new AMT Supernatural kit. You can't have this one clipped in. It's mine. He's got a couple of those on his bench. They built pretty well. I'm not going to build this from the show. I haven't seen the show. I know it's on Netflix, but I just haven't seen it yet. I'm going to do something different. I might use this for a donor for something. I've got a 92 Impala in my stash. I was thinking about kit bashing it with this one and the 92. Maybe throw all the nicer parts on this one, something like that. But since it's 4-door, I might as well do that. This is the 4-door kit, just like it is on the show. But anyway, I picked that up from the local hobby shop. Can't remember how much I paid for it though. I think it was like 25, 30 bucks, something like that. Alright, next item on the list. I picked up a 29 Model A. Picked it up from Hobby Lobby. I can't remember if I used the 40% off, but it's $29.99, so seen that was there, so I picked it up. And I also picked this one up, the 64 Belvedere, the same day I picked up that Model A kit. This is one of the newest ones that just came out. You can build it either with a slant 6 or the V8. Right now I don't have any plans for this. I just picked it up just because it was there. I noticed it was new, so. But hopefully I'll have that on the bench sometime soon. While I was out with the racing crew during the D5 finals, which I may post a video on that. I do have the video for that done. I just haven't posted it yet. But anyway, I picked up the 66 Nova. It's the same as the Pro Street, same parts trees. It's just a stock form of the car. I mean, it looks like it can be street strip, but it doesn't have a 4-link or anything. So that's it right there. And I went to Michael's that same weekend because we were out messing around, and I picked up the Pinto, this new Pinto kit, the Coca-Cola Pinto. And I picked up this Monogram 55 Ford. I've seen a lot of people in the community build this kit, and I had never had a chance to do it. So I seen that at Michael's, so I picked it up. Hopefully I'll do it someday. And then a while back, I'll show this one. Couple of my big four builds. One of the builds that was on my list was this '69 Chevelle. I was going to build it as a tribute for Steve-O, the Australian Chevelle that runs on Hot Rod Drag Week. This was on my big four list, but I took it down because I was originally going to use the Revell '68 Chevelle kit, even though the real Steve-O is a '69. I seen that HPI guys was doing a review on this kit, and so I waited till it came out and I picked it up at the local hobby shop. So I'm gonna set that build aside. I might build Steve-O next year, or whenever I have time, I guess. I do have a build in his replacement that's currently on the bench. You see that Fairlane right there. I'll explain more in a moment. But as far as stash wise goes, I did pick up another 4th gen Trans Am. This one's I do have the AMT Firebird. I believe it's a '94 Firebird, but this is the '97 Trans Am. Same body style, only it has the dress up kit molded into the body. So that replica I brought up with, I think I'm going to use this body because it's more realistic to the car I'm going to be replicating it from. So again, more further details to come on that. Couple more. I picked up this 04 GTO. Maybe I'll build Roxy out of this one. I don't know. I did see Roxy from Flying Sparks Garage. Emily, she's the driver of the real car. I didn't snap any pictures of it, but some guys on my Facebook suggested I build Roxy out of this GTO, so I might do that. I don't know. I just need to find pictures of it. But one of these days. And then this build was actually for the toy build that BG and I can't remember who else is putting it on. But it's to replicate your toy that you had as a kid. I picked up this Ford Ranger from the show a while back in Salina. And it's not the exact, but it's a couple years older. The build that I'm going to be supposed to be replicating is like a maybe 88 to like I think it's like 90, 91, 92 Ford. But this one's more of like I think it's like a 81 to 87, somewhere around there, body style. But yeah, this is what I'm going to use for the toy build off that starts, I believe, Christmas Day. So I'll have an entry video for that, but as far as stash update wise, here it is. That's pretty much it for stash wise. And let me get the camera set up real quick and I will show you what I have on my bench. Alright, what I got on the bench, I'm going to show you the box. This is the Mobius 72 F100 Sport Custom. I am replicating this because one of my uncles owns two of these actually. One of them's a long bed and one of them's a short bed. I'm going to be replicating his old short bed that he had. I hit this with Do It Best primer, and which is an enamel primer. The chassis is, I believe, Rust-Oleum flat black. It was just direct to plastic. I normally hit my chassis direct to plastic because it's just the bottom side and nobody's going to see it. But yeah, it mocks up pretty well. As you can see, it's not a solid piece. It's the cab and the bed are separate. it snaps real together. It snaps real good together when mocking it up. So there's these little locks up here on the front where the frame mounts. See these little pieces right here. They just lock in place, and then the same goes for the bed. So everything's pretty much at a good standpoint for now. Moving on, I did grab the formula build back on the bench. The parts I'll be using come from this kit, the Revell 1970 Pontiac Firebird, or Trans Am. That's what it says on the box art, but it truly says a Trans Am. But anyway, this is the formula build that I've been hiding around on my bench off and on for the last couple of years. I dug it out this weekend and I started working on it again. The whole body and everything is pretty much ready for primer. I did find it, ended up using the new nose piece, and I cut all the dress up kit off of it. There's usually like a little skirt, little lip that hangs off the front end, but it was molded in, and I cut it off. And what's easy with this is that the dress up kit is molded in. And so what I ended up doing was taking the cigarette lighter and heating up the fins and just molding them back to their original spot. Well, as if they weren't there. So it would just be showing the quarter panel. And I took my Dremel to it to sand out that little lip there. You can still see it a little bit, but I'm not too concerned about it. And same with the little lip piece that goes down here. I bent that back down to make it flush with the fender. And so I did that on both sides. And the hood is actually the most work done on this whole project anyway, because it is a 78 hood, but it fits perfectly. There's a little bit of flaws. I know in real scale the hood would not fit because of the nose piece, but for this it fits, and this was all I had at the time. So the hood is actually, I blocked the shaker with a piece of styrene, and then these scoops are actually, they're not real formula scoops. They're actually came off of the Duster kit from a parts box. These are actual Duster 340 scoops, but they kind of have that same look for a Pontiac formula. So that's what I'm going to use for this. As you can see, I've done some body work on the hood. It did have a bird decal on it. I sanded it down so give it enough bite for the primer. And there's still a little bit of decal left, but that's all the fine line stuff that I'm not going to worry about. But yeah, I'm trying to make this Trans Am look like a formula. So, like I said, most of the stuff is pretty much done. I did decide with a color scheme of what I'm going to do. Anyway, as I'm saying, this girl named Olivia Scafidi, she's well known for running power tours. She's been to a couple Roadkill Nights events, and what I'm going to be doing with this build is basically replicating her 71 formula. This wasn't the original plan, but I've been trying to decide what I want to do with this build, and this build came to mind. Sorry, it's kind of hard to mock up right now. So I'll just set this back there, but that's what I'm going to do with that, color scheme wise. It's like a dark red, but then it's got like a fiberglass front end on it. But Anyway, I'll get more in depth with that when the time comes on the start to finish video like I normally do. Next on the bench is this 76 Chevy. This is the new 76 Chevy kit by Revell. It's the same platform as the plow truck and the big game truck. As said, I went with the step side body. Everything panel wise is in this kit. The chassis roll. It is the 76 chassis, but with the big game suspension, and these aren't the 44s. These are the mud grips from the MPC 84 Deserter kit, because they seem to fit a lot better than those 44s. That last build I did with I believe it was for Fubor Model Yard, the multicolored one. I had a heck of a time trying to glue those tires on, so I decided not to use them for this build. And so, like I said, these are, I think in scale, they're supposed to be like 37, 38-inch tires. I believe they fit a lot better. And what I did to make I am going to use the 6-lug rally wheels for this. And what I ended up doing was putting the regular tires inside of these wheels, because the wheel diameter for these 37s are a little bit off scale. And so what I did was I put those solid tires in these hollow wheels, and I'm going to use that as a cheater to make those wheels fit. So, but that's pretty much the update on that. And I will cue in the next build right now. Okay, this is the AMT 66 Ford Fairlane. This kit right here. It's the 390 kit. It's not the 427. Those of you who are familiar with Rocky Mountain Race Week, Bill Armstrong, he has a 66 Fairlane. And actually, when I was at Race Week 1.0 at Great Bend, I came across Bill Armstrong's car, got to meet him. He's a pretty cool guy. He let me take pictures of his car because it gave me inspiration for this kit to build. And so far I've got the body painted. This is the Model Master Burgundy Red Metallic. And as far as paint jobs go, this is from Murado Can. This is the smoothest paint I have ever laid on any of my builds. I had no issues with it at all. The paint there's a couple pinholes on the hood, but nothing to worry about. As far as paint goes, it laid out pretty smooth, I think. The wheels are from 3D Model Specialties. They are in scale RC component. These are the back wheels, and then these are the RC component front wheels. These are the wheels and tires that Bill Armstrong runs on his car, so they were pretty easy to pick up. I do have the, let's see here, let me open the box. I do have the turbo assembly and the rear hitch. It's also from the 3D Model Specialties. It's still combined on the parts tree. I haven't. It's going to be front facing like his engine bay. I do have a couple pictures of this car. I can show you guys right now. those pictures now and kind of know what I'm talking about. His car is actually a Fairlane 500, not a basic Fairlane, but this is the only kit that I have. And so for the hood, I made my own scoop. It's actually a part scoop from somewhere. I can't remember exactly where it was from, but I just cut it off the hood that it came from and stuck it on this one. It's not the true Fairlane 500 scoop, but it's just what I had, so that's what I'm going to use. And like I said, the paint laid out pretty smooth. I do have the engine in there. It's just sitting in there. I haven't really done anything with it yet. And as far as that goes, the last build that I'm going to show you on my bench, which is pretty much, I'd say, halfway done, maybe 60%. This is a replica build of one of my racing friends. A while back, I had a replica build in 2019. It was Josh Baer. He had a 89 RS Camaro. It was satin black. Well, his dad, Mike Milan, had this. His name's Mike Milan. Had this 85 Corvette. He bought it and then he sold it. And so he was real impressed by the model that I built for Josh, and he wanted me to build one of his Corvette. So got everything done to make it look like the real thing. Pablo Santiago over at Distinct Auto Detail. I still got the bag that it came from, but he hooked me up with a set of modern wheels because it did have 2001 factory Corvette wheels on it. These wheels right here are going to be what are going to be on there. And I do have pictures of the real car. I actually made an instruction manual for this build. My very own instruction manual. So this is the picture of the real car. So just going by my notes and comparing the kit instructions, and away we go. And as far as the body is, this is the body. The body's done. It's just mocked up with the bumper right now. The interior bucket is pretty much done. It's got seat covers. The real car had these red seat covers, so I just painted them to match. It's just easy to do that. And then the kit is a little bit awkward to mock up. Basically, where the engine sits, it also holds the front suspension. So I'm just skipping around the instructions. Or no, I'm not really skipping around the instructions. I'm really skipping around my personal steps when it comes to building. I'm just getting everything painted to the point to where I have to assemble it with the instructions, just because there's a couple awkward steps that require final gluing, and pretty much that's it. But that's pretty much all set in stone over there. I'll show you the box art for this. This is the Monogram 85 Corvette. As you can see, yes, it's pretty much box stock. But at least that's what it looks like on the box art. It's the same color. This is Tester. The body is Tester's gloss red. So easy to pick up at Hobby Lobby. Sprayed okay. There's a couple flaws in the hood, but the black trim is just outlined in Sharpie, just because it's better to use Sharpie than actual paint when it comes to detailing. But yeah, I'm just going on and on here about all what's on my bench and going on almost. Well, the video is probably almost 30 minutes now, but I'll probably trim it down. But as always, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. And I will be back a lot sooner this coming winter. I'll be posting more updates. Because Racing Seed, we only have one more race at the end of October. And that is the end of the season as far as I'm concerned. We didn't win the D5 finals, so there's no Vegas trip. So, yeah, that's it. And I'll be posting more. Like I said, I'll be posting more videos. Maybe towards the end of the month, once I'll start getting back into this full time for the winter and keep showing you some guys of what's going on. So, as always, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you soon.